The news hit like a thunderclap. Toyota and Honda are pulling their manufacturing out of the United States. These brands, long woven into American industry, are leaving abruptly. The reason? Tariffs. A new economic policy has triggered a corporate exodus, shaking communities across Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and Texas. For decades, these factories provided steady jobs and fueled local economies. Now, families who relied on these plants face an uncertain future. The announcement felt like a betrayal to many. How could this happen so fast? The answer lies in global trade and political decisions. Toyota and Honda have invested billions and employed tens of thousands of Americans. Yet, new tariffs on imported auto parts have made U.S. manufacturing unprofitable for them. The very policy meant to protect American industry is now dismantling it. Stocks for auto suppliers tumbled, politicians scrambled, and Americans everywhere felt a new vulnerability. This is more than a headline, it's a crisis with real-world consequences. The story of why these giants are leaving is a high-stakes economic gamble. American workers and consumers are caught in the middle. We need to understand how we got here. The fallout is just beginning. Let's break down what led to this exodus. To understand this crisis, we need to talk about tariffs, a tax on imported goods. The goal: make foreign products more expensive, encouraging companies to buy American. The Trump administration imposed steep tariffs on steel, aluminum, and auto parts, aiming to protect U.S. jobs. But modern manufacturing relies on global supply chains. A car built in Alabama might use transmissions from Japan, electronics from Korea, and steel from Canada. Tariffs disrupt this web, raising costs for every imported part. For Toyota and Honda, these costs add up fast. They argue their U.S. operations are fundamentally American, employing local workers and suppliers. But the new tariffs don't distinguish. They target all imported components. The result: companies that build millions of cars in America are now penalized. The policy meant to boost Made in America is pushing manufacturers out. It's a paradox. Protectionism backfiring. The supply chain is global, but the pain is local. This is the heart of the turmoil. The next question: why can't companies just absorb the cost? For Toyota and Honda, the math no longer works. Tariffs have driven up the cost of imported parts by as much as 25%. Absorbing these costs would wipe out profits. Passing them to consumers would make their cars unaffordable. The American auto market is fiercely competitive. Higher prices mean lost sales. Fewer sales threaten factory jobs and local economies. It's a lose-lose situation. Lose money or lose customers. So, they've chosen a third option: leave. Moving production abroad avoids the chaos of disrupted supply chains. Finished cars will still face tariffs, but the costs are more predictable. For these companies, leaving is the only viable path. The impact will be felt far beyond the factory floor. The ripple effect is massive. Tens of thousands of auto workers face unemployment, with specialized skills hard to transfer. Suppliers making seats will see orders vanish, triggering more layoffs. Suppliers making tires will see orders vanish, triggering more layoffs. Suppliers making glass will see orders vanish, triggering more layoffs. Local communities lose major taxpayers, slashing budgets for schools and public services. Small businesses, from diners to realtors, will struggle as incomes disappear. Small businesses, from realtors to diners, will struggle as incomes disappear. Car buyers will see fewer choices and higher prices as supply drops. Even those not buying Japanese brands will feel the pinch as competition shrinks. The policy meant to help American workers may end up hurting them most. The economic foundation of entire towns is at risk. The consequences are just beginning to unfold. President Trump stands by his tariffs, calling them essential to restore American manufacturing. He argues that short-term pain will lead to long-term gain. New companies will fill the void. Supporters see this as a bold stand for American workers. Critics warn that global supply chains can't be untangled without damage. The departure of Toyota and Honda is now a case study in unintended consequences. Instead of bringing jobs home, the policy is driving them away. The administration's gamble is clear: force companies to build everything in the U.S., but the stakes are enormous, with the auto industry and millions of livelihoods on the line. The debate over protectionism versus globalization is far from settled. The outcome will shape America's economic future. With Toyota and Honda leaving, the future of Japanese cars in America is uncertain. They may shift production to Mexico, Canada, or Japan, importing finished vehicles at higher prices. This could be a negotiation tactic, hoping the U.S. will reconsider tariffs. If not, American automakers might try to fill the gap, but ramping up production takes years. Other foreign brands could seize the opportunity, but supply won't rebound quickly. The long-term outcome depends on U.S. trade policy. If tariffs persist, the market will change, fewer choices, higher prices. If policies reverse, rebuilding trust in supply chains will take time. The landscape of American manufacturing may be changed for good. For millions of Americans, this isn't just policy, it's personal. Job losses will hit families and communities hard, with ripple effects across local economies. Car prices will rise and choices will shrink, making transportation less affordable. The lesson: global supply chains are fragile, and economic policies have far-reaching consequences. The story of Toyota and Honda is a warning about the complexities of modern manufacturing. The road ahead is uncertain. Will America double down on protectionism or adapt to globalization? The decisions made now will shape Main Street for years to come. The journey is just beginning, and its impact will be felt by all.